Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with my reaction to I'm getting married to a girl I hate in my class. It's quite a big title, so Um, the thing about this show is that I have actually read the manga, at least like the first, I think like a couple of chapters. And I kind of liked it. It's I wouldn't call it like really good or anything, or like groundbreaking or anything. Like one of my like favorite romances out there, like romance animes. I couldn't really compare this to that, but it's pretty good. Like especially as far as I can remember, in like the later chapters, it becomes quite wholesome, like really very wholesome. And I fairly enjoyed my time reading that. I haven't read the whole thing, and I kind of like stopped reading it at the middle. I don't even remember most of it. I just remember the basic premise of it. Either way, so yeah, now that I have seen that this show is, this is getting an adaptation, I was like, yeah, like let me just react to this. This will be like a slice of life rom com thing. So yeah, it'll be nice. Anyways, so yeah, let us see the first episode of this. And yeah, let us begin. Again, like I said, I don't remember much. I just remember the basic premise of it and the fact that it's quite wholesome. That's all I remember. Most of the stuff I haven't, like I've probably forgotten. So yeah. Anyways, yes, let us begin. So this is my reaction to episode number one. Right. So I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is a preference, and let's begin. Yeah, here's the countdown. Three, two, one, go. Right, here we go. What the hell is slow motion? Yeah. What? Like, here's the thing. Why the hell are school students getting married? Yeah, that's why. Oh, I don't remember this girl. Himari. Bruh. Flatten him out. Like a cockroach? Wait, she's his sister. Anikun? That's what she. Yeah. Oh, cousin. Well, wow. And fast forward. Grandpa. Or maybe you don't. Bruh. Yes, grandpa's just chilling. Oh boy. He's used to it. It seems like he's just so. Wow. Huge recession. Grandpa? Yeah. Damn. Right. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Unlike your father. Damn. Right. There's things going on in the family, I guess. Oh boy. Well, he's not wrong. Yo, just wait, that's her grandma? I thought that is his grand. Okay, wait. Like I said, I've forgotten everything about this. Like I don't remember much. I just remember the premise of the show. Well, you'll get to know soon. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, wait. So a metaphor or a riddle? Yeah. Yeah, it's like a backstory. Oh my god. Well, but oh, I remember now. Okay, I remember the premise now. Right. This this always like the reason was so absurd, I remember. I was like, what the hell is this? Oh, bruh. Crazy. What the hell? What? Ah! I don't think so. Oh God. She's gonna say something absurd as well. Right. Yeah, I remember now. I can clearly remember now. When I read the manga, this part felt so absurd to me. I was like baffled. I was like, what the hell? Like, the reasoning is absolutely bonkers. Yeah. Oh my God. What? Oh, yeah. Scored more than her. Hmm. Yeah, well, damn. Bruh. I don't, yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. 20 quintuplets? Oh boy. Yeah, that's how you see her? A dragon? Or. Oh boy. Hmm. Both. Damn, you going that deep? Hmm. Wow. You will scavenge along with him? Hmm. Hmm. That's why he cannot give this up. Right. Yeah. 3 days later. Okay. All right, here we go. Right. Oh, we're getting the opening now? I guess it's an appropriate moment. Right. Well, yeah, nothing else. I wonder what her grandma said. Yeah. Here we go. Now the whole thing is going to come. Yep. It's like, what the hell? Bruh, here we go. He thought that he would be like, oh yeah, sure. And then just go on his own way. Yeah, already? Oh my god. Oh, okay. Right. Hmm. Yeah. Whoa, this is the bathroom? It's crazy. Oh. Yeah. Why are they always here? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. It's rigged. The whole place is bugged. Bruh. Oh, she was. Yo. Yeah. What the hell? What? Why a pencil? That's a big pencil. No. Well, true. Oh. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. That the one slice? What? I will that even fill her stomach? Well, yeah. Mm. You saved it. Yeah. Well, I guess his situation is way more in the open. Huh. Yeah. Oh my god. Hey yo. Oh, so present day. Here we go. Damn. Yeah, you think? Entire world. What? Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay, so yeah, I'm remembering few things now here and there, but I actually completely forgot the premise about their grandparents forcing this on them. I completely forgot about that. What the hell? Flamethrower? The napalm? Okay. Right, and that was today's episode. Okay, so yeah, now like I said, I didn't remember much from the manga. All I remembered was that they, like they're like married and everything, and they have to go to school. There's also one part I remember, which is I guess like like how she kind of I guess gets accustomed to him and like starts making like food for him and all that stuff. And that is also something I remember. Other than that, I don't remember much. And as you can see, like I even forgot the fact that their grandparents forced this on her, on them for such a ridiculous reason. And as soon as that section came, I was like, oh yeah, I now remember. It was such a weird type of a premise that I was like, when I started reading this, I was pretty skeptical about it because the whole like like the main problem isn't really the characters, like the main male character or the female character. They're not really the problem. The problem was that like for such a weird and a ridiculous reason that they're being forced into this. And to be honest, I think this is the first time in any type of anime that I've actually gotten pretty like what can I say, frustrated or mad at the like grandpa or the grandma of usually like in animes and stuff, grandpas grandmas, they're like the most chillest and the most coolest people in there, like most shows you'll see like there's very like small part of like shows where grandpa and grandma are like evil or something. Most animes, they're the best people. But these guys aren't even evil. It's just that their logic and the reason that what they're doing is so absurdly weird and ridiculous that it actually really pissed me off. So that is also another thing I kind of remembered, and it's like a big exception because again, I've never seen any old characters acting like this in any shows. Usually whenever like like there's like a show has like a arranged marriage type of a setting, the logic it at least a little bit more sounder and a little bit more believable. And this is absolutely ridiculous, like the most ridiculous I've ever heard. Like they could have done it like something like, oh no, you two have to get married because they're trying to like increase their wealth and their like influence and all that. Both of them are like different company, and political marriage kind of situation. That is still believable. you know that is still believable. Yeah, it's obviously something crappy that you're doing. You're letting your grand children, you're dictating their life for them and threatening them that, oh, this and that. It's still pretty crappy, but at least the reasoning is still, it makes sense. This reasoning here makes no sense here, because these two, apparently these grandfather and the grandmother, first and foremost, they like each other, number one. Number two, they're doing this to their grandchildren because they want to live or see them living their lives as if like, and kind of live through them in like a more of a proxy way. Now I don't remember, or I'm not really sure if later on it is revealed that these two have some other reason for doing this, but like at least up until where I read, I didn't find anything like that, or maybe I've forgotten. I don't remember. But if this is genuinely the reason why they're doing this, that is weird. That is like one of the most weirdest things I've ever heard, even for an anime plot. Like, who the hell does this? That's why I'm saying maybe there is a possibility that in the future it'll be revealed that, oh, this is just something they made up, but there was a bigger or a more different reason why they did this, why they forced the marriage onto them, these two. Because this reasoning makes no sense. What is this? Like what type of a, like, I don't understand. Like you to live your own life the way you want. Why the hell are you roping your own grandchildren into this? Like, it makes no sense. And he kind of said that something like, oh, like your father or something, like brought his father up. The main character's father, I forgot his name, his father up and said something like, oh, you don't want to end up like him or something like that. I don't know what happened to his father. Maybe I know, I've just forgotten. When I read the manga, maybe I knew it back then, I just don't remember now. But I'm assuming the father probably left the house or something. And if this is what the grandparents are like, no wonder the father ran away or something, if that's what's happened. Again, I'm not sure, I'm just guessing here at this point. But I wouldn't be surprised if the father got completely like exhausted by this type of personality of his own father, and he just left. And he was like, you know what, screw this old man. I'm leaving. you know but anyways, this is like and I feel like this is probably, this whole first episode is probably going to shoo away a lot of people who were like, kind of looking forward to this. But it gets better, like, because as far as I can remember, the focus kind of like changes itself from this whole situation to these two only. And the focus kind of goes on to how these two characters, they get more friendly with each other. And they actually, like, have like a really wholesome relationship by the end of it. That's where the focus kind of shifts into, which makes it so much more better, as we keep going. So, if if you are looking forward to this show and you watch the first episode and now you're disappointed about it, or you don't like the way this happened, trust me, I understand. But give it a few more episodes. I feel like you'll understand what I'm trying to say. It gets more better, and the focus really shifts to these two. No more of those. Yeah, those type of nonsense still happen. The grandparents still try to, as far as I can remember, they still try their own tricks and everything. And it's very frustrating, obviously, the way they're handling this part of it. But other than that, everything else becomes very much more wholesome, and it gets better and better as the chapters keep rolling in. And and I do remember really enjoying it by the as I kept reading it. And it was quite, it was very wholesome. Again, like, I've watched and read a lot of, like, rom-com shows and mangas and all that. And a lot of them I read it and I just forget about it. The fact that I still kind of remember the bits and pieces of it kind of proves that I genuinely did like this when I read it. That's why, even though I barely remember much about anything, I have high expectations, because I know my tastes, and I know the fact that I enjoyed it back once means that I'm going to enjoy it now as well as I keep watching. But first episode, obviously, it was very frustrating, especially because of the grandparents. Other than that, the main characters, they're fine. It's a typical tsundere girl who's just, and obviously anyone would get pissed like this if their grandparents starts pulling out, like, does this type of shenanigans. Anyone will get pissed. It doesn't even need to, you don't even need to be a tsundere to get pissed at that. Any sane human being is going to get pissed if suddenly your grandparents are like, oh, you two get married, like, we are going to live our lives through you two. Basically that's what's happening. So yeah, like, it's pretty normal to get this pissy about it. So yeah, that's the main problem, at least for the first episode, as we see, is the grandparents. They're the main problem. The main characters, like, they're fine. It's just a tsundere girl, and little by little, that'll also change. She'll get more and more wholesome as time goes on, which you'll see. Right. Yeah, and that was today's episode. Again, it's so crazy because I genuinely forgot everything about the grandparents. I remember nothing. It's very weird. Maybe it was so crazy that I completely shut that part out of my brain. I'm like, oh, let's just keep this away from me. And I probably forgot about it. Because all I remembered about this manga is that it was quite wholesome. I forgot about the whole grandparent section completely. And as soon as I watched it, it struck me. I'm like, oh yeah, this happens. I probably completely shut that part away, and like deliberately forgot that because it was so weird. Again, they could have made this anything, like, like made the grandparents. If they really wanted to make the grandparents like this, they could have been like, oh, both of you are getting married because both of like the families need to get, like the political marriages, like they happen where two families, like, two people get married because they want to like do like a little tie up with both the companies so that they can grow even more bigger, that kind of situations. That is basically what a political marriage is, in modern day. So they could have done it like that. They would at least have a valid reason for forcing these two. But then we have this reasoning where, like, what? It makes no sense. It is such a weird type of a reasoning. Like, I cannot wrap my head around this reasoning as to they want to see how, because they themselves weren't able to live their own life, they're forcing this on their grandparents. So basically you're saying because you guys weren't able to be true to your feelings. You're forcing your grandchildren on the same path that you once walked. That's literally what you're doing. Like, yeah, I know these two are going to get, like, more friendly with each other and probably start liking each other in the future, but that's not really the point here. My point here is that you're forcing your grandchildren into a situation which you guys regretted already going through in your past. How does that make sense? Like, what? Anyways, yeah, so there you go. I have a bone to pick with these two old people, this old woman and this old man. But then again, like I said, the whole reasoning is so absurd. I'm actually thinking maybe that's not really it. Maybe there's something else going on which we don't know, and the grandparents will reveal it in the future. Because this reasoning is so out of the box and so weird that I feel like there must be something, some kind of a, like, a twist that is going to come in the future where we'll actually get to know, like, the real reason why they're doing this. Or, but then again, maybe not. Maybe that is literally what these two guys, these two of them, they wanted. They just want, they're this type of a character. All right. Anyways, yeah. So there you go. That was today's episode. Anyways, these two are stuck around with each other now. We also got to meet their friends. This girl. What was her name? The Gyaru girl. I forgot her name. But let me bring up their names first. Mm. Because otherwise a little bit difficult for me to. Okay, the girl's name is Sakuramori Akane. The guy's name is Hojo Saito. Okay, Saito, Akane. The Gyaru girl's name is Himari. Okay, while the cousin's name is Shise. Okay, Akane and Saito. Right. So we meet the two friends as well, Himari, not two friends, sorry, one friend and one cousin, Himari and Shise. So Himari, there was a section where you can see Akane is talking to Himari, and Himari was like, "Oh, there's someone I like" or something. I don't again. I've forgotten everything from the manga, so I don't really remember. But there's a possibility that she actually likes Saito, and she's keeping it under wraps for now, or something like that. I'm assuming that might be the case. While we have the cousin Shise, who really reminds me of another character. Who does she remind me of? There's another little sister character like this exactly in another show. Who's like, oh, I cannot remember. Who's like, oh, I'm going to support my brother, like, whichever. I guess most little sister in animes are like that. I guess her personality kind of reminds me a little bit of Komari from Oregairu. The fact that she was saying stuff like, oh, like, even if you're like scrambling, scraping in a, like, trying to get food, I'm going to do it along with you. I remember, like, Komari used to tell Hachiman something like, oh, even if you are like a useless bum, but even by the end of your life, I'm going to take care of you, or something like that. She used to say something like that. Yeah. But her character reminds me of some other character that I cannot remember. Like, exactly like this. She always, like, goes and sits down into on the brother's lap. I forget. I'm forgetting which character was it from another show. There's too many shows like this with too many little sister characters like this, so I guess it's probably some show. I just don't remember it properly. Anyways, yeah, so there you go. That is the situation here. Yeah, and now they are stuck here, and the Akane is like, "Don't you dare tell anyone about this." Right. There you go. And that was today's episode. Yeah, so that was that. Now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. Nothing much to talk about. I basically discussed about everything. But let me see if I missed anything. The first scene was basically Akane and Saito kind of just quarreling with each other. And, they kind of established it over there that these two hate each other. And they're like cat and dog, like, like, kind of relationship. Yeah, so here you can see Akane is the type of girl who's very particular at everything. Like, she's very like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do this properly, while we have Saito here who's like very casual. He's like, whatever, that kind of. That's why they were having like a little quarrel where Akane was like, oh, you were given the responsibility of writing in this notebook, why didn't you write anything? You just wrote like something very vague. And he was like, yeah, that's what happened and that's what I wrote. At which Akane was like, what the hell, you're giving this responsibility and you're acting like this. And they kind of start quarreling with each other because of that. you know and then Himari comes in, and Himari is like, damn, you hate him that much? And she's like, yeah, like, I probably like, I hate him the most. And she says like, why do you hate him? And she's like, I don't know, I've never thought about it. And then we meet Shisei here, so then we suddenly, Himari is like, oh, maybe you actually like him, that's why you act like this. At which she's like, no, in no way is that possible. Even if we were like the last two people, I wouldn't like him, and that kind of thing. And Saito also says the same. And then fast forward now, bruh, the situation currently, they're literally married. Anyways, and this is where after that we get to meet the grandparents, or grandpa, I guess. At that point, I actually thought that was his grandma, but no. So yeah, there you go. So his grandpa's like, right, come, like, I have something to tell you. And they literally almost kidnap him, puts them in a limo. You can see, like, even the driver and everyone over there, they were also like, you know what, him, he's like this, so just accept it. Nothing you can do about it. You can see they're also sympathizing with him. Like, bruh, like, they're like, our our master is crazy. Like, our he's like the, like, you know what type of person he is. So just accept it. Nothing you can do about it. And he's like, yeah, I know. And this is where they kind of said that, like, I can understand what they're trying to do. They're making the grandpa this eccentric because they're trying to push the whole narrative of, like, how we got to know that he's a crazy madman who picked everyone up when they were like in a recession and they were like almost losing, getting bankrupt. He's the one who single-handedly brought everything and picked it up and just made them into this multi-millionaire company or whatever. He's that type of madman. That's why he's so eccentric, that he's doing these type of weird things. That's the thing that they're trying to do here. I can understand. But still, like, his reasoning for his grandson getting married is one of the most weirdest and one of the most stupidest things I've ever heard in my life, even by anime standards. It is that bad. So I don't know, man. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, then he comes to this place, and Akane also comes in. And then we have the grandpa and grandma come in here, and they're like, oh, come in. And then they tell them that, oh, you two are getting married. At which they're like, what the hell, what? And this is where they tell them their story, as they were also, these two also liked each other, but they never were able to get married or get together because they, weren't honest with their feelings. Also, they just followed what their, you know parents chose for them, which is kind of ironic because that's literally what you are doing here as well. So, I married someone my parents chose. There you go. And then he's like, but now, after our partners died, it has been 10 years that the grandma died, as you said. Yeah, we have decided to, start a new life or whatever. And the fact that we were never able to experience our youth, that is why we want you guys to get married, and we will experience your youth, or, like, we'll let you guys experience the youth, and we'll, I don't know, like, see that as a proxy, and I guess try to feel better about ourselves. That is basically what they want. Here you go, this part. um, Okay, if you were to, okay, so why not realize the love by hooking up our grandchildren? There you go, this part. So this is like taking the whole, like, oh, I want my children to follow my path, and fulfill the stuff that we weren't able to do on our youth, and fulfill that, and live through our children. This takes that in such a crazier degree, and in such a more extreme degree. It's absolutely insane. you know like, what in the Okay. Anyways, obviously they're like, "What the hell are you talking about?" But they're like, "Nope. Like if you guys don't want to get married, then what is going to happen?" The grandpa brings out a dog, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to give the company to this dog." And then he also kind of says something or insinuates something like Saito has like some kind of a goal that he needs to fulfill, and that goal has to fulfill that goal. He has to be the successor of this group. Something like that they kind of implied. I'm guessing it has something to do with his dad or something. I'm not really sure. Either way, so he needs to be the successor. So if he gives away the company to this dog, obviously that would mean the end of the company. You know, with his generation end, as he's going to, after him passing away, the company will die. Because his dog apparently whatever. But yeah, that is that. So Saito needs to accept it. While we have Akane, whose grandma said something to her, which she was like kind of like surprised to listening to, and it is something that I guess some kind of a similar situation that or a similar weakness that she has over her, similar to the grandfather. So Akane also started rethinking her decision. Later on, they're like, "Oh, we'll give you 3 days or something, just Anyways, after that, we get to see Akane go back. Akane talks to Himari, tells her about a hypothetical situation like this, like that, oh, something like this, if this happens, what you're going to do. At which Himari says, like, "Oh, I'll probably refuse because I actually have someone I like." Now, like I said, there's a possibility that this someone she likes is probably Saito. Like 80% chance that's the situation, either way. But then she also says that, but if you don't really like anyone, have anyone you like, why not get married? But she's like, "No, I'm not going to do that. Like, that's no reason to get married." Either way, they're having that conversation while we have Saito talk, thinking about the situation on his own. She say, that's her name, yeah. Kind of like, encourages him and tells him that, whichever direction you go, I'm going to help you out. Don't worry about it. Um, yeah, there you go. And then finally, we have these two. On the day of the decision, they're like, "Okay, we're going to get married." And yeah, so they thought that, okay, we'll get married. But yeah, that's it. I'm just going to say we'll get married and then we'll go on our own way. You know, yeah, whenever the marriage is going to happen, it's going to happen. For now, it's okay. Let's just give them the word. But oh boy, the grandparents have a lot more in their sleeves. So they're like, "Oh, you don't go anywhere. We've already made preparations." So they have shifted their belongings to a house and made them live and going to make them live together, basically. And obviously, this is one rule that they cannot go against them. Otherwise, we know like what they're going to do. The grandpa is going to make the dog their next owner, and some kind of a something with Akane as well as her grandma has some kind of a um, situation in her control. So some kind of a weakness or whatever. Yeah. So there you go. They come to their house. Obviously, Akane is freaking out. Yeah, and then they see that there's also one bed as well. Like Akane is like, "Oh, don't you dare come near me!" Takes out a pencil, starts threatening him. Oh my god. Anyways, here while trying to take the stuff to her room, Akane almost trips. Saito saves him, but then she also freaks out after that. Then she's hungry, so they eat pizza. I don't know how the hell she was. She just ate one slice. That's it. I don't know, man. That's too little, I think. Anyways, yeah, and then at night they're like on the same bed, but obviously Akane is freaking out. Right. And Saito asks us. Saito's like, "Wait, why did you agree?" Like, because obviously his situation is pretty, like, out, like out on the outside, like, and everyone knows because the grandpa literally told to everyone that, "Oh, I'm gonna make this dog the owner, of the company." So it's pretty out there, but they don't really know what Akane's grandma told her. So that's why he was asking her. But she's like, "Oh no, that's a secret. I won't tell you." And then they're kind of like like kind of moved, and his hand kind of went, and it like came in contact with her back. And she's like, "Oh, I knew you're going to do this," like grabs his hand and almost breaks his fingers. But anyways, that all that aside, next day back to the present, we are here. All of this was happening like 4 days ago. This was like what has happened up until now. So now we're back to the first scene of the beginning, where we have Akane telling, grabbing his tie and telling him that don't you dare tell anyone in the class that we are married or we are living together or something, you know. And she's like freaking out about it. Yeah, and that's where it ended. So there you go. That was today's episode. That was the first episode of I'm getting married to a girl I hate in my class. That is too damn long. I think the short form of this show is Kurakon. Yeah. So because the Japanese name is Class no Daikirai na Joshi to kekkon suru koto ni natta. So Kura, which is class, Kura, kon is kekkon, so Kurakon. So that's the short form of this anime, Kurakon. Yeah, so that is the first episode reaction. Like I said, I feel like a lot of people was probably disappointed by at least the grandpa grandma section, because it really pissed me off as well when I remember reading the manga, and it was just absolutely so insane. But I like my advice will be give it a few more episodes, because they will shift their focus to these two, and it's going to become a lot more better and a lot more wholesome. And it's quite nice. It's quite nice as we keep going and as the relationship progresses. It's very cute. So like, just give it a few more days. I'm sure you'll experience it by yourself and you'll understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so there you go. That was my reaction to episode 1. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And yeah, that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Kurakon. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.